Good evening. My name is Jonathan Rosales, and this is a beginner to intermediate example of a lesson. Um, we're going to be working with the verb to be, and for this class, first we're going to address the present tense and then the past tense. This is my audience right here, class. You were so kindly to join me. So, first we're going to touch up on the present tense of the verb to be. Okay, so there are about 7 pronouns. You got I, he, she, it, we, and they, and you. So for I, use the am, am. That's the form of the verb to be. For he, she, it, you're going to use is in the present tense. For we, they, and you can use are. So even though you is used for both plural and singular forms, you have to always use the are. So no, you is in that sentence. Any questions on that? No?
No questions.
Okay. So let's move on. So, as you guys read in your student page already that you have, we're going to read the first passage, and I want you guys to read it out loud in the class, and then switch between sentences, and pay attention for the forms of the verbs to be in the present tense. So is and are. Okay. So let's start with you, Misael, on the first passage. Hassan
is 9 years old.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So just keep bouncing sentences from each other.
He is from Kashmir, India.
This is a picture of my school.
Mm-hmm.
It is outdoor. No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're fine.
There's a blackboard outside,
Mm-hmm.
but there aren't any chairs.
Okay. Okay. Keep going.
We have our lessons in the open air every day.
Okay. Keep going.
Emma is from Canada.
She's 10 years old.
Okay.
I have my lessons in a big classroom.
There are pictures on the walls.
In this photo, I am at my desk with my friends.
Okay. So just take a second to underline the verbs that you found in the passages. And remember that you can also underline the negative form of the verb, so that is isn't or aren't.
Do you want us to underline every verb or just the verb to be?
Just the forms of the verb to be in plural, singular, and also the negative form. Okay, so if you have it for both passages, let's count. How many did you find in the first passage?
6.
Okay.
6.
Okay, that's correct. And in the second passage?
4.
All right, that is correct as well. So now that you guys have read an example of that, I want you to go ahead and jump into the exercises. So on the first exercise, you're going to have, it's a big text, and you're just basically going to apply the forms of the verb to be in plural or singular form, whatever's required. So pay attention to which subject is in each sentence. And there's also a few selections where you're going to have to put a negative form of the verb to be. So go ahead.
It was to complete number 3 as well.
No, not that one yet. First, we're gonna check real quick the answers for number 2. Okay. Do you guys have those complete?
Mm-hmm.
Guess.
Alright, so. Alright, just bounce off sentences again. So let's start with you, Jason.
Marcia is from Brazil.
Okay.
She is 25 years old and works as secretary at ZLC Computers in Dublin.
Okay.
She's very communicative and has a lot of friends.
2 of her best friends are Miguel and Pauline.
Okay.
Miguel is from Portugal.
He is 27 years old.
Pauline is a very funny French girl.
She is 30 years old.
Marcia and Miguel are single,
Mm-hmm.
but Pauline isn't.
Okay.
She is married to a doctor.
She says they are very happy.
Marcia says she wants to go back to Brazil, but she isn't sure she is going to miss her friends.
Okay. So on that last one, do you think it really is, but she isn't sure she's going to miss her friends? So that means she doesn't know whether she cares about her friends or not?
I guess.
So in that case, it would be, but she is sure that she's going to miss her friends. Because she's leaving her friends to go back to Brazil. Okay. But good job overall. Was there any questions on this section?
Isn't that supposed to be punctuated right there anyways?
On that one, sure it isn't. No, it's not, because it's the same train of thought right there. So no. But okay, let's go move on to number 3 on this section. So this is a lot shorter, and it's just gonna be very basic. Same concept. You're gonna have the singular first person I in this one. So remember which form of the verb goes for those. Okay, you can start. Okay, so if you guys haven't completed, let's go over them really quickly. So on the first sentence,
I am Portuguese. I am from Sao Paulo, Brazil.
okay. Second,
Aren't you from Spain?
mm-hmm.
The third one is Philip and Susan are American, but their mother is Canadian and their father is from Puerto Rico.
Okay,
The dog is barking a lot today.
okay,
The next one, I believe, is we are lawyers, we are not doctors.
okay. And then the last one,
Isn't Rosie funny?
okay. It's the same. It's the same.
No,
you have,
it is?
yeah. It's part of the same.
No, he
question.
isn't. Actually, he's one of the most humorless people I know.
Yes, a lot of Rosses I know are humorless too. So, was there any questions on this lesson?
I think we got it.
Okay, so now let's proceed to the next one, and that is the past tense of the verb to be. So, there's 2 words you're gonna have to know, and that is was and where. So, was is used for the pronouns I, he, she, it, and then where is used for the pronouns you, they, and we. So, it's a lot simple. It's just 2 forms of the verb, and it is applied negatively the same way as the present tense verse, or so you can add the contraction or the not at the end. So if you guys would please go to the second student page. It looks like you already did. So we're gonna start that. In the first passage, the only passage in the paper, I want you guys to read it out loud again, same format as you did last time, and then pay attention for and highlight the forms of the verb in the past tense. Okay? So, whoever wants to start.
It was 12:30 on a Friday night, and Mitch was in bed.
He was tired, but he wasn't asleep.
His parents weren't at home.
They were away for the weekend, and Mitch was alone in his house for the first time.
It was very dark and quiet, but Mitch wasn't afraid.
After all, he wasn't a kid anymore. He was 17.
What was there afraid of? And anyway, there was a telephone downstairs, and what was that? And that?
Were they noises? Or was it just his imagination? No, they were definitely noises.
Okay. So, now please highlight all the forms of the verb, and remember to highlight also the negative forms of the verb.
Just the past tense, right?
Correct, just the past tense. So that would be was and were, and wasn't and weren't. Okay, so if you guys finished already, how many did you find in the text?
16.
16?
17.
17, okay. I have 17. So, let's see, which one is the one that you missed, Jason?
No, wait, I have 17. I
we
miscounted.
did not have- okay. All right, well, so we do have 17, okay? So, good to know. Is there any questions based on this section? Everything's still pretty good? All right, so let's move on to the last exercise of the class, and that is going to be the same format. You're going to apply the skills that you just practiced and you just read about in a conversation between a detective and a gentleman named Malone. So, Jason, you can be the detective. Misal, you can be Malone. And what you're going to do is put the form of the verb that's needed in each of the sentences in the past tense. And remember, you also are going to need to do the negative form of the verb. All right? I'll be the one line of Mrs. Malone at the end. So, go ahead. You can start, Jason.
Where were you last night, Malone?
So go ahead, Malone. You're Malone.
Oh, I guess I'm filling in as we go. I was at the movies.
Okay.
Were you alone?
No, I wasn't.
Okay.
My wife was with me.
Okay. Good job.
What's this about?
There was a robbery last night at the First State Bank. Were you at the bank in the afternoon, Malone?
Yes, I was. There were a lot of people there. So what?
And last night your car was in the car park near the bank.
I know. We were at the movies. The cinema's near the bank.
No, you aren't, Malone. You're under arrest. You see, my bag was under the table, and there was a microphone in it.
Oh no!
But we weren't at the movies last night. I was at home alone. Where were you? Were you at the bank? Malone?
Yes, I was. Now we're rich.
Alright. That concludes that story. Was it hard to put the words as we went?
Just
Or
had to think
Kind
about
of.
it.
to kind of think about it? Okay, so that's a really good exercise. That way you can develop two skills at the same time, comprehension and then application of the material. So I want to thank you guys for helping me out with this. And that concludes the class. You may leave now. Thank you very much.